Hello! How you guys doing? I'm King Posh. We're gonna do the intro. Today we are looking at the hardest cars to drift tune and drift. We are looking at my all-wheel drive 2000 Plymouth Prowler. I hardly ever see this car on the track, and I can tell you why. It's a difficult car to drift, let alone tune. As you can tell, it has 326 downloads, only 5 likes, and a staggering low of only 97 uses. So people aren't really using it. It does have a 5.9 liter V8 in there, 994 horsepower with a little over 700 pounds of torque. It's 783, yeah. So almost 800 pounds of torque, and it weighs 2,700 pounds. It says 35,000 a lap on school circuit. It says school, but it means school circuit. All tracks, super easy drifting, but it's really not really that easy. I just use super easy just so people would buy it, because it is a challenge. And we are going to get into it. So let's do that. Like I said, power comes from the 5.9 liter V8. You have a 7.0 liter V8. You have a 5.7 liter V8, and you have the stock powertrain, which is a V6. So lots of V8s to go through. I went the 5.9 on this one. So yeah. So other than that, all-wheel drive stock drivetrain would be rear-wheel drive, but we have an all-wheel drive, just to add the challenge. I removed the front bumper. Here's what it looks like stock. What it looked like stock when you could drive it on the roads. This would not be allowed on the road. All right, and this is what it would look like with a spoiler. That's all you can change. You can't take off the bumpers in the back. That would be pretty sweet, but you can't. All right, tires are stock. As you can also tell, the rims are stock. Stock width in the front. Stock width in the rear. I mean, the only thing, if you really want this thing to kick out even more, you could just go up one more notch, if you wanted to, and it would be an S800 right off the bat. If you really wanted to kick out a little bit more. Like I said, it's got the stock Plymouth rims on there. They just look good on there. Everything else here is going to be race. From what all I can remember when I made this tune long ago. I haven't even changed it in the future. I think it's in other ones. I don't remember. Either way, stock anti-roll bars for front and rear. You don't need them. No roll cage, though this is what a roll cage would look like on here, on this sweet paint job that I have found recently. Race weight reduction, as light as can be, 2,700 pounds. Not too bad. It's pretty quick, 0 to 60 in 2.7, 0 to 100 in 5.22. Not too bad. Engine upgrade is pretty simple. Remove restrictors, and you're good to go. Let's get right to the tune and show you guys what I've done to this thing. This car is difficult for one reason. It's got a fat rear end. So that's what you're trying to compensate when you're going sideways. So you got 55, okay? Gearing is 315, 288, 201, 161, 137, 118, and 101. I haven't really changed this much in the years of other cars. Usually this number goes down to 288 on my Horizon 4 builds. And this goes up to a 103. So, and it works. This is a little different on the tune. You got positive 0.3, 0.3, 5.0, 5.0 with a 7. This is what I came up with. And it is a weird setup, but it works. It works all right. Like I said, no anti-roll bars, so you don't need that. Springs are on the stiff side at 955 and 936. 0.4, 0.2, get close to those numbers, it really doesn't matter. Ride height, I had to bring this up so it would even out the front. That's very important. All right. Dampening, you've seen my last video with the Mitsubishi. The 7.0, 9.0, 6.0, 8.0. I haven't changed it. It works. So we stick with it. Aero, there is no downforce, so we're not going to worry about that. Braking, different. We got 30% going to the rear with 130% pressure. This is a whole different animal. It's got the power, but it is a whole different animal. You got 76, 46, 97, 97. You guys have seen that number before, but I also have 84% going to the rear. Like I said, it's got a huge rear end, and getting that thing sideways is a challenge. We are going to take this car actually right here on Indianapolis this time and see how well it does. Like I said, it's a challenge. You'll hardly ever see this on the track. It is fun to drift though. It's sweet looking. I found this sweet paint job. You know, I have to tell you guys who did it, if I can find it. Maybe we'll do that after the video if I remember, but I probably won't. But we'll get there. You got the RPM gauge right there between the steering wheel there. The speedometer is a little hard to see in the middle. You don't know what your speed is until you're over 100 miles an hour. Yeah. All right. It is a challenge though, and we're doing okay. Whew. Get those tires warmed up. It's an animal. She slides now. Yeah, I mean, when I tuned this car, I probably had like 5, 6 different tunes on this. Nobody was downloading them. The people that did download them sent me messages of saying how terrible it was. This one, I'm pretty sure I had the hate mail back then, but I said, well, this is the best you can do. And I mean, it is. It really is good, to a point. Challenging, but it like I said, it's good. Many mistakes and whatnot. A lot of my tunes just didn't work for it. So that, you know, that very little positive tuning was the key to get this thing sideways. Like I said, still a challenge. You'll notice it will try to strain up on you if you're doing like long turns, like Bernese Alps, like right there. It just decided to do it, but I'm just so quick with it that I'm just used to it that I just fix it. I'm on my e-brake right now a little bit. It started to straighten out. It wants to do that just because of just how the rear end is just so huge. We got a 61,000 right there. That's not too bad. Very impressive. I mean, 6 tunes later, you think it would be good. I mean, it works. And I wish I would see more people using it. I have seen people use it, and yeah, it's funny. They're all over the road, all over the place. But once you get a good grasp of it, it's really a great car. Right there, I had to slow it down just so, you know, can get into the track a little bit. If you would have floored that thing, it would have just decided to say, hey, I'm done drifting. I'm going straight into the grass. And I know where the points start and finish on the e-brake like mad right there. really get that sideways. There's a 13. I went right up to a 4th gear on that, which is fine. 3rd would have worked too. Down to 3rd, back up to 4th. Just to slingshot it. Really pushing it here. There's a 19.6. I think that was a good lap. Thanks for saying it's a perfect. Yeah, there you go, a 65,000. That's a really great number for this car. A lot better than my other tunes that I put on it. So let's see if there's a, if you guys do want this car, let's see if I can figure out where the paint job is and see who did it. Like I said, I was going to. And there it is, right there. So Ivan 1412. It's called Pipe. Pretty simple name. So definitely look him up for this paint job. It looks absolutely stunning, and he did a really good job on it. The pipes look real. When you're far or close, it looks like a real, like the pipes are actually coming out of the car. So he did a fantastic job on it. We can open up the trunk. There is no room for anything. Absolutely no room. You can't put up the top. That would be nice. Like I said, there'd be like a V6 underneath there. I don't think you can actually look at the engine here. Let's just add on to here. Let's go. Let's make this thing stock. Show you guys. It would be a C420. All right, as a stock. Yeah, I brought it up a little bit higher than that. The power it starts out with is 253 horsepower, 255 pounds of torque. Like I said, let's see if we can open up the. Yes, we can. So you guys can see what the original engine looked like. It's all the way in the back. It had a 3.5 liter, 24 valve V6 engine. But all the other, you got the V8 options in there. And I mean, that's what they should have done in the first place. You can see you got the batteries in the very, very front. So, I mean, if you get into a hard accident in the front, you're going to just have battery acid all over the place. Let's just face it. But at least the engine's back there. It was still a very slow car to begin with when it came out. Everybody wanted more power and whatnot. But you can still find them today, really good price. Like I said, it is a weird car to drift just because, it's got a huge rear end. The front end is just weird, how open it is. It's more like, maybe it's just because it's wider in the front. I don't know. It's just it's a challenge in itself to drift. But yeah. It could be the rear end. It could be the front end. I don't know. It's just wild. Look at those lights. Super bright. Also, I kind of just want to just see what kind of power we can get out of that stock engine. I mean, I think 253. Let's just see. Because I went with my, most powerful, 994. I like that engine. I use it a lot in a lot of my tunes on Forza 6. But hey, I'm pretty sure you guys want to see what kind of power this thing could push. $430. That's not too bad. Keep it going. $497. Almost 500 horsepower with 406 pounds of torque. That's not too bad. With the 0 to 60 and 0 to 100, not a bad top speed either. reset that thing. Let's look at what it would be stuck, completely stuck. What the 0 to 60 is. Almost 6 seconds to 0 to 60. Almost 15 seconds to 0 to 100 with a top speed of 144. I think like the real car had a top speed of like 118, 120 miles per hour. It was not fast. It was a very slow car that was supposed to look like a hot rod, and it just didn't do it, didn't show it. So that's probably why it was pretty much what bankrupted the Plymouth company. So saved 100 pounds, gave it, the power it needed, and not too bad now. So hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this little mini series of the hardest cars to drift tune and drift. It doesn't say and drift, but you get what I mean. But hey guys, if you would like to see certain cars, I'll see what I can do, and we'll get right to it. All right guys, well hey, thanks for watching. Peace out. I'm King POSH.